connection to one of the victims, Ernest Miller. He was one of the last to be identified, and tonight we now know that Miller lived in Chicago at the time of his death. Somehow his path crossed with serial killer Jeff Dahmer when Miller traveled to Milwaukee to visit relatives. Channel 2's Elaine Tack has the story.
This is a picture Ernest Miller's family took of him the last time he was home in Milwaukee in September of 1990. Now, the only way police were able to identify the 24-year-old was through dental records.
He's nice, outgoing. He liked to party.
According to his aunt, Vivian Miller, after growing up in Milwaukee, Ernest moved to Chicago in 1989. He told her he was living at the YMCA downtown. Ernest Miller last came home to Milwaukee Labor Day weekend 1990. He told relatives he was very happy in Chicago. He had made a new life for himself. They were shocked when he disappeared before the weekend was over.
He got dressed and, he left and he never came back anymore.
It is clear Jeffrey Dahmer met Ernest Miller in Milwaukee. What is not clear is how or where they met. While his family mourns, the community is trying to come to grips with the tragedy. This morning at the Calvary Baptist Church, like other Milwaukee churches, the congregation came to pray for the victims and their families. Church leaders and community officials urged the city to unite.
Strengthen us to use the passions that this incident has understandably aroused to help us once and forever bridge over the gaps that divide us.
Now the remains of all 11 victims found in Dahmer's apartment have been identified. But the curiosity is not over as hundreds continue to come, look, and wonder why. In Milwaukee, Elaine Tack, Channel 2 News.
Of Jeffrey Dahmer's murder victims, there are now a total of 4 with a Chicago connection. In addition to Ernest Miller, there are Oliver Lacey, Jeremiah Weinberger, and Matthew Turner.
The trail of murder also extends into Ohio, where authorities are now unveiling the grisly details of another confessed killing by Jeff Dahmer. It happened at the Dahmer family's former home, where preparations are underway to excavate on Tuesday. Police say Dahmer has drawn a map showing where he buried his victim, 19-year-old Stephen Hicks, a hitchhiker picked up by Dahmer in 1978, then murdered after the two had been drinking and Hicks tried to leave.
When Jeffrey picked up a barbell and struck him in the backside of the head, he later then strangled him with the same barbell and then took him to a location where the body was dismembered, and then later, several days later, took the body parts and disposed of them.
Authorities say a year ago, the current owner of the home found a human bone on the property. Police believe Dahmer may have killed as many as 17 people.
6 of those murders took place in Florida, California, and Germany. Police there are busy pursuing leads that might connect the unsolved crimes to Jeffrey Dahmer, but Dahmer denies he had anything to do with those 6 other murders. Meanwhile, Milwaukee police will hold a news conference tomorrow responding to charges of negligence leveled against them by community leaders about the Dahmer investigation.
Tonight, 3 weeks.
Once lived. This as prosecutors build their case against the confessed Milwaukee serial killer. Robin George joins us now from the overnight desk with the latest. Robin?
May have been his first victim, and authorities will dig tomorrow. Dahmer confessed yesterday to killing Stephen Hicks, a hitchhiker, 13 years ago. He says he buried the dismembered body at his parents' home in Bath Township. The home's new owner found a human bone in the yard last year while landscaping. Meanwhile, all 11 bodies found in Dahmer's Milwaukee apartment have now been identified. So far, Dahmer's been charged with 4 murders, but more charges are expected as investigators follow his trail of terror from Ohio through Illinois to Wisconsin. An internal investigation into the way Milwaukee police handled an encounter with Dahmer several months ago is expected to be completed by this week. And of course, we will keep you updated on this case as developments become available.